Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Too Many Hobbies. Today we're going to review the Kobelco SK400D LC in the European colors. This is a demolition model from Kobelco. It does come in these nice styrene former as well as a plastic former over top of it, and we'll get into this and get the model out. You'll see that it comes with the excavator, counterweights, a bag of parts, a high reach boom and a tool, and a three-part boom, as well as a tool there. Those tools are the standard crushers that you'll see. Here I have taken the plastic stanchions out and set the high reach boom up on the stanchions. There's 4 stanchions you'll need for the high reach boom, and they sit on these little red eyelets that come off the boom. You can see the red eyelets are also here on the 3-portion boom, so you would just set the tool down on the end and then it would set up on the portion of the stanchions. The excavator model, here is the counterweight. It drops in nicely to the rear of the excavator. Kind of a nice piece, something unique. Unfortunately, the lifting eyelets on the counterweight are not drilled through, but hey, it's nice to have a removable counterweight. As we look at the excavator, we do have the nice protective cage over the cab, as this is a demolition model. Some nice decals on the cab. Undercarriage, pretty standard, not too much detail, but not looking too bad either. Decals on the side and the perforation for the air inlet there. We also have a tiltable cab, as this is a demolition model, and the pinch point is nicely decaled. On the rear of the model, we have some standard warning labels, the Kobelco label across the back, and a rear view camera. Overall, I like the color of this model. I think it looks sharp in this turquoise blue. On the opposite side, we have the exhaust pipe, again the perforations for air inlet, the undercarriage, again pretty standard. Metal tracks across. Unfortunately, I did have one challenge. One of my tracks has a broken piece on it. And the handrails are also metal. As we turn around to the front, you can see into the cab there. Not a lot of detail in the cab, but pretty nice looking cab. Hydraulic hoses are decent. They are just your standard little rubber hoses. 2 lights on the top of the cab and a nice mirror over on the far side there. We'll go ahead and get into a little bit of the function of the excavator. This being a demolition model, the tracks do widen and narrow. Widen for use and narrow for transport. Those function quite well. We'll get into the operation of the tracks on this semi-smooth surface. Do operate fairly decent. As I may have said before, I did have one issue with a track. It's still not going to be fixed, but it is what it is. We'll tilt the cab down and see how this swings left to right. Not too big of a problem there. Swings pretty smoothly. We'll go ahead and get into the installation of the 3-section boom, and this operates. There's just a metal pin that this sits over top, and then it rests just like that. And there's these plastic little pin clips, one for each side. You'll see there's a larger hole and then this narrow hole. The clip goes in the large hole, and then the pin portion goes into the narrow hole, and one for each side. So we'll go ahead and get the other one in, and it just clips in like that. And then if you can get these rubber hydraulic hoses to set into their little indentions there, it's very fidgety, and if you got small hands this might work, but my bigger hands, it was quite a chore to get it to stay in, and then I don't think I was able to get it in anyways. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the boom. Color match going up the boom, fairly nice. There are the clips there. Hydraulic hoses are just really thin rubber, but there is some hydraulic piping die casted into the boom itself. Again, color match is fairly decent on the hydraulic pistons throughout. There is some warning labels on the stick here and a nice protective guard on this final hydraulic ram. There is a pin system here on the crusher, and the crusher operates fairly smoothly in and out and operating around as you would expect. Like I said, 2 little pins here, and you can remove the crusher. So that is a nice feature of the model. We'll go ahead and get into some of the operation, and out here at the end, moving the stick and the crusher, no problem. One little challenge when you move, you got to make sure you hold this really nice, and then as you can see, and there I moved and popped those out. So you got to make sure you hold the boom way down here at the bottom, or you'll pop those plastic pins out. That is something I'm not a really big fan of, is those plastic pins. You can see here they kind of flop back and forth when you use that. I would have rather have seen them use a metal pin. For the high reach boom, kind of the same thing. You set the top section in, there is a metal pin there it catches on, and then again we have two more of these little pin clips, one for each side. They just snap in. These pins aren't too big of a deal if you're just going to set it in a display case or a diorama, but for the functionality of the boom, it is troublesome. You can get the hydraulic hoses in again. They just press into those little fittings again. Maybe if you have smaller fingers than I do, you might be able to get that. And I got this one though, I think. Yep, got this one. So and I can try the back one here, but nope, I'm just gonna say forget it. Here is the crusher tool. Like I said, they do come off. Just two little metal pins. I'm not sure why we did metal pins here and not for the boom, but I recommend setting the metal pin in on the back side, and then the front one sets in just like that, and it's attached. As we look at the boom from the lower portion here, again, nice hydraulics on the hydraulic rams, color match, really decent all the way through. You can see up the boom here, we have the little red eyelets that hold the boom up when it's on its stanchion, the plastic pins, here's another one of the eyelets, and then the rubber and the metal hydraulic hoses throughout the casting. The metal is just casted into the actual boom itself. As you continue up the boom, there's a nice Kobelco label. Continuing with our hydraulic rams and hydraulic hoses, rubber through the connections and the articulating portions, and then the metal piping in the casting as we go down. Nice work light out here on the stick portion of this boom, and again there is the hydraulic hoses. The crusher tool has a nice hydraulic rams. They look nice and large, as they should for a tool like this. There are the pins that can remove the crusher tool itself, and its function is quite well. We'll go ahead with the function of the boom. The stick here on the high reach portion works really smoothly. The excavator is capable of holding the demolition tool out this far. As you bring the boom down though, as you would imagine, or sorry, bringing it up here, no problems bringing it down. Function in the boom is very nice. As we bring the stick back in and down, we do start to lose a little bit of the balance on the unit, as you would expect, but not bad for a model. You would expect to lose the balance there. As you bring the tool in and the boom in, you can tuck it away very nicely for a transport load, and then just rotate the tool so it's flat, and it tucks away pretty flat. Something to go on a long low boy. This Kobelco model is made by Motorart. Overall, it's a fair model. A few things that I like to see done better is the pinning process for the boom. I think that could have been done a lot better, and I had a few challenges with some paint chips and the track. This model did come in the European colors of Kobelco, the turquoise blue. You could have also got it in the yellow USA colors of Kobelco. You can pick those other models up from their Kobelco fan shop. Check them out. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell for the notifications, and if you like what you're seeing, invite some others to come by too. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.